Now, to give Malky Mackay credit, his text messages suggest he was indiscriminate in his discrimination. His racist, sexist, homophobic, antisemitic comments suggest he had in for pretty much everyone. Today came a full-scale apology and a reminder that anyone who had their personal text scrutinised would probably be in for a bad time. But it was the phrase that followed the texts, a plea to dismiss them as friendly banter, which some found most offensive of all. A new term has been added to the offensive language lexicon, and that word may just be banter. It was the phrase used by the Football League Managers Association to trivialise the now infamous text stream between the former Cardiff manager Malky Mackay and the sporting director of Crystal Palace, Iain Moody. In the texts, Mackay apparently covers the full gamut of offence: antisemitic, homophobic and racist, to name but three.
Go on, Fat Phil. Nothing like a Jew that sees money slipping through his fingers. He's a snake, a gay snake, not to be trusted. Not many white faces amongst that lot, but worth considering.
It was something that was unacceptable, but as far as I'm concerned, I've been in a multicultural football environment for 20 years. I've been involved in it, and I love British football, and I am no racist. And I'm no sexist, I'm no homophobe, and I'm no antisemitic.
The text messages have been roundly condemned, but one lone figure leapt to Mackay's defence.
Show me someone who's never made a mistake in their life and I'll show you a liar. You know, it happens, and he's not murdered no one, he's not a rapist, he's not a paedophile. He's made a mistake, a big mistake, but that shouldn't finish his life and shouldn't finish his football career.
Whilst the LMA has now apologised for its wording and accepted that it was beyond argument that the comments were discriminatory, a window has once again been opened onto a part of the footballing world it has tried so hard to shut. And so the question remains, have things really changed, or has the beautiful game just learnt to bury its uglier side? Well, I'm joined now by the former footballer turned pundit Mark Bright and the award-winning sports writer Matthew Syed. Thank you very much to both of you for coming in. And when you've got a manager saying, I'm not a racist, I'm not a homophobe, I'm not an anti-Semite, I mean, it's a strange state of affairs, isn't it, to have to actually say that?
This is about far more than Mackay and Moody, the people who exchanged these texts. Look at the statistics. Take a step back. There are no black managers in all four divisions, 92 clubs. There are no women managers, no women working in youth team football. There are no openly gay footballers. That is what the situation is in football. That hints at a culture that goes way beyond one man, way beyond these two men who exchange texts. And that's the issue that football has to address, because it's deeper and wider than the people in the authorities realise.
How wide? You were pretty shocked. I mean, we talked on the phone about this. How wide do you think this goes then?
Listen, I think everyone in football condemns what they've said. Everybody. I haven't spoke to anybody who can put up a case for them. I mean, I've been in Iain Moody's company since he joined the club, in the boardroom, travelling, at dinner tables. He's never said anything untoward to me. Never. When this came out, there's always been rumours. When it came out, the content of the text, I was shocked. I was shocked because I just didn't think in 2014 anybody is going to write that down. Never mind thinking.
Right. So, but you say write that down. I mean, the defence, you know, that Harry Redknapp tried to put up was nobody would come away looking pretty good if their texts were scrutinised.
Any of us.
Any of us.
I don't know. Would you be comfortable? Somebody going back over your phone in the last few years?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So does he have a point?
It depends what it says. I think as everyone texts their friends about their boss, oh, he's this, he's that, he doesn't like me. I think that sort of thing goes on. But this is discrimination. And it's wrong, Emily. It's just every box has been ticked.
And yet, isn't it funny, you know, every time you go and watch a game, there are the adverts and there's a thing, we're combating racism and we're combating, you know, homophobia, and they put up the big adverts. What is that? Is that just absolutely surface deep?
The marketing is good, the PR is good, and the spin is good. The reality is a disaster. You go to football, let's draw a distinction between major... It's better than it was.
It's
better than it was. Society is better than it was. But football lags behind, I think, wider society.
We've worked really hard.
Why though?
Well, let me draw a distinction. If you work at a big corporate institution, you are told by a very strenuous HR department that it is unacceptable to use racist terminology, even as banter, sexist terminology, homophobic terminology. In football clubs, in the dressing room, on the training pitch, homophobic epithets are used as conventional terms of abuse. Emily, no one polices that. Why? Because it's just a group of young guys having a bit of banter. However, let me just finish the point, if I may. However, this is a place of work. This is a if there is a gay person who's not out of the closet, it is a place of work. They're not going to stand up and say that's out of order. They don't want to be identified, maybe, as being gay. But think of the attritional effect that's going to have. That's the problem for what they do not understand, that this is not just banter. It's not just a group of guys having a kick around. It is a place of work. And they need to have the same rules as big FTSE 100 companies.
I can tell you now, I've heard players tell the manager to F off on the training ground as an angry exchange. Anywhere else, you lose your job. In football, you don't. The manager, you calm down, the manager calms down, and then you say, sorry about that, and you move on. Now, where could you do that? Where else in the industry could you do that?
So what's your point? It's not going to change, that the banter's always got to be part of that?
I wouldn't say that's banter. Come on, that's not banter. That's an exchange between two players on the pitch against each other, and the manager and the player when you're in training. So it's, I mean, we were talking before, and I said to you, Matthew, Jeremy Clarkson's come out with a couple of things, and we've got to say, close to the knuckle, he's still employed. And you talk about football's got a problem.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Great to have you both in. Thank you very much.